Hey, what's going on, everyone? We are live. Another Brap rant in the house on a Thursday evening. Sorry, guys. Sorry. For about 4 minutes later, so had to go out and grab a beer real quick while I do this quick podcast. So we were gonna do our regularly scheduled. We actually postponed our regularly scheduled podcast yesterday, and initially moved it to Thursday at 9 p.m. Then I had a schedule conflict come out, and so I figured, you know what? What's up, D. Floyd? Shirzad Khan City. What's up, gentlemen? Hit that like button. I had a conflict, so I couldn't do the podcast at 9 o'clock. So it's just me. I'm solo right now. I am solo, like Han, driving my Mercedes down the autobahn. More vicious than Genghis Khan. Anyhow, so I figured, what the hell? I'd do a quick brap rant at 6:15 p.m. tonight. Why not? Figured it's a good time to do that. Want to give a shout out to my Washington Nationals, baby. Finally made it to the promised land. Well, not the promised land yet. We made it to the NLCS. We finally got over the hump. God, after it feels like, watching this team in the playoffs for 7 years, in true, I guess, DC sports fashion, outside of the Washington Capitals more recently, it's just been disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. Mr. Miracle says, I'm going to need a code for LTTP for the price of on the house. Yes. Anyways, big shout out to the Nationals. Really excited about the win. And by the way, guys, everyone in the live chat, if you guys don't mind, let me know what games you're playing right now. It should be. I don't think we really talk about what games people in the live chat are playing. I don't think it's something that I ever ask or comes up. But if you guys wouldn't mind, let me know what you guys are playing in the live chat. I'd be interested. All right, guys. So we have some news this week. Some more news. Looks like executives are dropping like flies. Mr. Miracle says Concrete Genie in Borderlands 3. Hey, how is Concrete Genie? I was planning on buying it, but I've gotten hit with the what I like to call the annual Destiny bug. I've been playing Shadowkeep a lot. Got to run some Crucible with the Mooch and some of the other guys that I've been gaming with on Xbox Live for like 18 years. I mean, these are guys that go back to the days when we were beta testers, and it's just great, having made those friendships, and and still gaming with these guys, 18 years later, 17 years later. It's pretty fucking cool, pretty cool. So how is Concrete Genie? Again, I was gonna pick it up, but I haven't picked it up yet. I thought it was one of those games that looked really cool. D. Floyd says he's playing Indivisible, Code Vein, Astral Chain. Astral Chain's pretty good. Mr. Miracle says Concrete Genie's what happens when Tim Burton is no longer depressed and makes a happy movie. That's good. I'll take that, considering that his movies are pretty good. Nate says Destiny 2 PC, Borderlands 3, and Dragon Quest 11 on PS4 Pro. And, hey, Wraith the Emperor, my man, with the $2 super chat. Thank you, sir. He says, just showing some support, bro. Hey, man, Wraith, mad love. Appreciate the awesome super chat, man. I really do, man. I really do. So thank you again. Eternal Shaddai says, Enrique, what is going on, buddy? Eternal, what is going on? Eternal, I'm a fraud. I didn't even beat Borderlands 3. I went from Borderlands 3 to Destiny 2, man. Can you believe that? What's going on? What's going on, Danny JLB? It's good to see you, man. So, Nate, I got to say, man, Destiny 2 on PC, woo! That's where it's at. That is where it's at, man. It's like, I can't even tell you. I mean, I can tell you because you know. Because you know. Worry where it says, taste my knowledge. Worry, I'm waiting for those t-shirts, man. Just taste it. Just taste the knowledge. By the way, Worry is a gaming industry insider who has successfully predicted that with all the changes going on at Sony, that they're going to be that Sony is turning into a company that will sell bottled water. And Nate says, "Yeah, you've seen that setup: 165 hertz, 144, 144p. Dude, that's where I'm at, man. I'm with you, and I'm telling you, like, it's just going. Hey, a water ice. Thank you, Worry. Sony is selling water ice. That's what all these restructurings and all these firings mean for Sony. So, if you, yeah, so." Worry, if you are available, sir, you are more than welcome to join in the rant. We had you on Tuesday, man. Always a pleasure shooting the shit and talking video games with you. But, oh, come on, D. Floyd. Destiny is not lame. Although, you know what, guys? I'm going to talk a little bit about Destiny today because I do have some minor complaints about Destiny. What is going on with the Almighty Spartan God? All right, so Innate, it's interesting, man. I should say it's interesting. It's fucking amazing. Going from PC, high frame rates, 1440p resolution. I just actually tweaked my NVIDIA card a little bit to squeeze a little more frames per second out of it. And I gotta say, just go. It's a noticeable difference going from PC on Destiny 2 to Xbox One X. It's hard for me to play on the Xbox One X. There's a lot of jank. D. Floyd says it's like Def Comedy Jam. I don't know what you're referring to, D. Floyd. Oh, you talking about Destiny, man? Warrior Work says I'm at 36,000 feet. I can't join. Oh man, be safe. Safe travels, my friend. What's up, Glorious War? Um, it's just night and day. Like I can't believe how much better PC is. How much better Destiny 2 looks on PC. Like it's just, I mean, like the textures, the frame rates. It's just a better looking game on PC. I don't know what to say. It really is. I mean, I love playing on PC. Eternal Sadai says, Enrique, there's no minor complaint on that game. There is a huge complaint on that game. Bungie is recycling planets on Destiny 2. That's a huge no-no. You know what? And I was going to get into that here in a little bit, but outside of that, I mean, it's just a fabulous looking game. So I've been spending a lot of my time playing Destiny 2, guys. I got that Destiny 2 bug, and Wraith the Emperor with another awesome $2 super chat, man. It says another two if you don't talk about that trash Destiny. Wow. So now I have the live chat trying to bribe me to not talk about Destiny 2. Amazing. Amazing. Wraith, I appreciate the super chat again, man. Appreciate it, bud. Guys, I actually need to... somebody's actually knocking at... So I'm actually downstairs in the Basement Radio Arcade Studios, as I like to call it, in my man cave. Somebody's knocking on my door, so... I have to put you guys on hold for just a sec. Thank you. All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Whew! Forgot that I was having some firewood delivered to my house today, so completely forgot about that. Um, so anyhow, but Ray, thank you again, man, for the awesome super chat. Man. I really appreciate it, and I don't know if $2 is going to cut it. I don't know if it's going to prevent me from talking about Destiny 2 because I do want to talk about some definitely some things about the game, some complaints that I do have about it. But anyhow, uh, R says 2020 will be an interesting year. I think 2020 is going to be an awesome year for gamers. D4 says big plans for the weekend. No big plans right now. Doing some gaming. DR Marty Smartin says, was that Phil Spencer calling with a job opportunity? No, Phil was not calling with a job opportunity. Um, so, what's up? We have Boom. What's up? What's up, Boomstick? We got Booms in the house. Yeah, so it's just a better looking game on PC. PC's really giving me a different perspective when it comes to gaming. I mean, it really has, and it's given me kind of a glimpse into the future. I really hope that, like, look, 'cause I don't care about the whole resolution thing. Like, it's playing high frames per second is just amazing. You know, with high texture settings on, and or playing on ultra settings. It's just a different experience, and I hope that console gamers, get a little bit of that experience because 30 frames per second is not where it's at. Yeah, 4K is all nice and dandy, but I would have taken 1440p and 60 to 120 frames per second on console any day over 4K resolution. It really makes that much of a difference. No, no Spartan God. It was not Matt Booty. It was Kiki Wolfkill. She wanted to know what was going on tonight. All right, let me talk about Destiny 2 again. Obviously, I'm having some. I'm having fun with it. Okay, like I enjoy Destiny 2. I don't have any major. Well, I have one complaint, but I'm having fun. Fun, right? I'm having fun, right? Hashtag fun. Um, I've been playing some. Running the Shadowkeep missions and grinding out gear and playing Crucible and playing some of the strikes. But my biggest complaint is this. My biggest complaint. DNHLB says 1440p Ultra on PC looks better than 4K on console. Facts. Orlando Soto says, glad it wasn't La Migra at the door. Nah, it's not. It's not La Migra, man. Although this day and age, you never know. So I might look. My only complaint with Destiny 2 is this: Bungie has got to stop recycling planets and enemies at this point. Look, they brought back the moon, and I'm okay with the moon. I see some people are very upset. Or not upset, just like people are they're like, what, hey, it's like you brought back the moon, but it's the same moon from the Destiny one. And it is, but it's not too. They added some secret zones that you have to discover, which are really cool. But the problem is like, as I'm grinding and I'm shooting Fallen and and I'm shooting the Hive and the Vex, I'm like, you know what? Like it's like the same people over and over again, and then they reskin them. They make them, what? Then first they made them like, like shadows or whatever. Like I forget which Destiny DLC it was, where like the enemies became shadows, or I forget what they call them. Now they're nightmares, and they have like a red aura about them. And it's like like that's just like a reskin of the same thing, of the same enemy. And it's just getting a little tiresome. Like I'm just kind of over it. And not that those are when Destiny 1 first came out, like I liked the Vex. Actually I didn't like the Vex. I think the Vex are my least favorite of the enemies that you fight Yes, thank you, Nate. They became Taken. So here we are. So Destiny, Bungie reskins the current enemies and they call them Taken, right? It's like okay, whatever. They call them Taken. They, make them look like Cloud, like a dark cloud or something, or some kind of demon, if you will, look alike. I don't know. And now they're nightmares. There's red aura about them. Okay, it's like okay, so they're nightmares. Uh, and it's just I don't know. Like I want to see. You figure like the game is set in the universe, right? Why if all these enemies are like the Hive are not native to the Milky Way, to our solar system, right? Why can't we go to where the Hive came from? Why can't we go to different galaxies? Why is it stuck in our in our Milky Way, our universe? Like I don't understand that. Like why? Like why not expand beyond? And my understanding, at least, I thought was that Destiny would expand outside of our universe, outside of the Milky Way. But we're not seeing that. Like and it's like, well, why not? Like you have space. Like space is your and you're not bound by like realism. You're like a science fiction game. You have this universe as your canvas, which is God knows how big the universe is. It's pretty fucking big, but you have the ability to create different planets, different worlds. Like why not do that? Yeah, that's what I meant, Daniel B. Different galaxies. Like you have the ability to go to different galaxies. Like why not explore that? Like I don't get that. Clearly the traveler's not from here. He's from somewhere in deep space. We don't know where he's from, but he's from somewhere else. He's not from Earth. You know? Death Singer says technically we do go to the Hive home. Yeah, I think with what's this called ship, I think, right? And Nate says a shame that a game like Mass Effect has more going on than Destiny has in the entire cycle between Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. I mean, that's an interesting point. I mean, you got to explore different parts, different galaxies in Mass Effect. That's kind of what I thought that Destiny was going to be. Destiny is not trash, Shirzad. At least I don't think it's trash. Just, but I also wonder, like, at some point, like, when am I going to start feeling that lag, that Destiny, that like not that lag, but that Destiny fatigue? When's that fatigue going to start sitting in? And because it's going to get to a point, guys, where and I look, I'm not a hardcore Destiny player. I don't play Destiny like 24/7, And if you do, that's great. It's just I don't do that because I don't want to spend all my time grinding out gear and collecting, um, collecting things and to uh, collecting resources. Like I don't care to do that. Like I typically will play Destiny anytime like a new DLC comes out. Yeah, Death Singer, that's right. The ship. That's the ship that I was talking about. The Dreadnought, Throne World of Oryx, manifested in our realm. Yeah, but I mean, I think at some point though, I'm probably going to get, and I'm seeing people that play Destiny more than I do that are commenting on this. They're saying, hey, you know what? I'm getting tired of seeing the same enemies reskinned. Tired of going back to the same planets, and I get that. Like I get that. And I guess my question to Bungie is hey guys, like when are you going to change the enemy types? When are you going to open up the game to different galaxies? Like I think that would be really cool. Because I do think people are going to end up getting fatigued playing the same reskinned enemies, whether they're Taken or they're nightmares now. I think that's just going to get old. Like I could see that happening. I could totally see that happening, but we'll see. I mean, hopefully Bungie on the next console generation, and maybe they will. Maybe with the new hardware and everything, they'll be able to open things up a little more and give us new enemy types. Like that would be awesome. I would love that. I think a lot of people would love that. Because they're not bound by realism. They're not bound by realism. So that's my Destiny 2 rant. All right. Sean Rashid says AEW last night was amazing. Did you see it, Enrique? Yes, AEW, AEW, AEW. Yes, I did see it. Let me tell you something. I am happy to see professional wrestling back on TV. I don't know what sports entertainment is, but I know what professional wrestling is. Airless70 says no one got fatigued with World of Warcraft. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But didn't they add different enemy types in World of Warcraft? I'm not a Warcraft player, so I'm only asking because I don't play Warcraft. So I'm just wondering. But Sean, yeah, man, AEW is awesome. Like I love that it's just wrestling, man. Like it's not like 10, 15-minute promos. That stuff's all fine. I get that they want to tell a story, but holy shit, I mean, I want to watch some wrestling. And these guys, they're kind of breaking the mold a little bit. I like what they're doing. Yeah, Sean says it feels like '98 again. It does, man. It feels like 1998. Although I do think though that the inner circle kind of reminds me of the NWO a little bit. Because you have guys that former WWE guys that are there, part of that stable. But I like what I see so far. Actually, their next November pay-per-view is actually going to be in Maryland. So I actually might go to that pay-per-view. It's going to be in Baltimore. I might go to that pay-per-view, but I'm not sure yet. But yeah, man, I'm definitely loving it. Loving it. I love that. I thought the Young Bucks losing to After Party. Is it After Party? Is that the name of the team they lost to? I don't remember, but I think the Young Bucks losing last night was actually that was the right thing to do. I thought that, and you know what? It was good because the fans wanted it. Like it became unexpected. Like it wasn't something you would expect. It kind of, most people would have thought, oh, the Young Bucks are going to win, but they gave it to the other team. And I thought it was the right thing to do. But I do think that the Young Bucks later on down the road are going to end up winning the tag team championships. I don't see that not happening in the future, but I like how they're pushing some of these other lower card guys. Like everyone knows who the Young Bucks are, but some of these tag teams that are in this in the AEW tag team tournament, they don't. A lot of people don't know who these teams are. Like I know who the Lucha Bros are. Cero miedo. That's all I gotta say. And they says, "Wow, it's a bona fide drug for some people. It is. I think people have died playing it from starvation." Yeah, Sean, it's crazy to see how Cody was a jobber. Now he's a star, man. He had to get out of the WWE. He had to get out of the WWE. And let me tell you something, Sean. And this is the last thing I'll say about wrestling, guys. I watched Hell in a Cell last Sunday, and the ending to the Bray Wyatt Fiend, or the Fiend, if you want to call him, and Seth Rollins match was just terrible, terrible ending. It was horrible. People were chanting, "We want refunds," and people were chanting AEW. It was a terrible match and a terrible ending to that pay-per-view. It was just bad. And I have to get into it. Maybe I'll do another rant. Stu says Ring Attire needs some work. They look amateurish. Yeah, I mean, yeah, some of those guys are coming from the indie circuit, but I think the matches are they're lights out. It's just wrestling, man. It's great. So, hey, leave my broken Spanish alone. All right, guys. So we have some news. Mike Ybarra has stepped down from Microsoft. He was he'd been at Microsoft for 20 years. So I don't think anyone was expecting this news to drop this week, but he actually tweeted it out and let everybody know that he was leaving after 20 years. And Mike was actually a pretty cool dude. He was actually one of the Xbox executives. For those of you guys who know, he was Xbox corporate VP. He was in charge of things like Xbox Live, Game Pass, Mixer. But you know what was really cool though is that he was like one of the guys who would actually like would interact in the community. He was also a little competitive too. I think he'd throw jabs at the competition, talk trash, But he was cool though. Like you would see Mike Ybarra. You would see him in like chats, like podcast chats, and he would just like come in there and talk to everyone. So he did a lot of really great things. And he's going to be missed over at Microsoft. So, um, and he actually tweeted out, after 20 years at Microsoft, it's time for my next adventure. Stadia. I'm just kidding. I don't know if he's going to Stadia, but it's funny. Like every executive who leaves from now on leaves like Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft. Everyone's going to think that they're going to go to Stadia. When Sean Layden, when it was announced that he was no longer with Sony, people thought that maybe he was going to Stadia. And by the way, guys, like it's funny. Like back to the Sean Layden thing. Like I see a lot of people talking about Layden. Oh, he was fired. He was ousted. Look, guys. No one knows what really happened unless Sean Layden comes out and says, "Hey, guys, you know what? They fucking canned me. I'm gone." Or, "Hey, I left on my own accord." Or Jim Ryan spills the beans. No one knows for sure what happened. We can all speculate, but I've seen a lot of people out there say, "Oh no, he got fired. He got fired." Just look. We haven't heard from him. There's rumors of infighting. But and people are treating that like, hey, like connect the dots, and therefore it's facts. And let's not confuse opinions with facts. That's all I'm saying. That's my point. I don't think we're ever gonna know really what happened to Sean Layden unless he comes out and tells us. I think it's okay. Look, you could formulate an opinion, but I don't think you should get mad when someone says, "Hey, you know what? Your opinion isn't fact," when you don't have any facts to back it up. All right, so Mike in his tweet says, "After 20 years at Microsoft, it's time for my next adventure. It's been a great ride at Xbox, and the future is bright." I would agree with that. I think Microsoft has made some really good strides with addressing some of their deficiencies as it relates to first party. Now the jury is out. We got to see whether these first party studios can deliver the goods. Irrelevant Native says Ybarra was replaced by the Halo Pug. Oh my goodness. He says, "Thanks everyone at Team Xbox." You guys remember TeamXbox.com? I don't know if you guys remember that. If you don't remember TeamXbox.com, you're not a true hardcore Xbox fan like me. Ha! I'm incredibly proud of what we accomplished, and I wish you the best. More soon on what's next for me. Super excited. So, Stadia. He's going to Stadia. Pure speculation. I don't know if Mike Ybarra is going to Stadia. But like I said, he was a cool dude. I mean, he was somebody that would, like I said, interact with the community, show up on podcasts. The guy would just show up and just shoot the shit. He would join podcasts and answer questions. Just a nice dude. All right, guys. Let's see here. Mike Ybarra left because he saw the writing on the wall. He couldn't take the daily L's. Oh my God. I'm sure that's why he didn't leave, Glorious. I'm sure that's why he didn't leave. All right, what's going on? Mitchie dies a lot. All right, so Mike Ybarra is gone. We wish him the best in all his future endeavors. What if Ybarra did go to Google though? Would that be? What if Google hired Mike Ybarra and Sean Layden? Holy shit! I mean, like imagine that. They got Phil Harrison. You know, then they have what's it called, heading up first party studios. I forget her name. She came from EA. Forget her name. My old age, I don't remember shit anymore. I forget her name. Somebody live chat probably knows. Probably could tell me. Um, but yeah, that'd be pretty. I mean, that'd be crazy. No, not Amy Hennig. It's not who's leading up Stadia's first party. She was at EA. Forget her name. And she's actually a fairly attractive individual. I'll leave it at that. But oh geez, I can't remember her name now. What's her name? I want to say she worked at Ubisoft at one point. Where Jade Raymond. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Jade Raymond. She heads up first party for Google Stadia. Where is Shannon Loftus? I think something happened to her. They pulled her Twitter account. She called somebody a fat ass. Way to go, Shannon Loftus. Sean says Death Stranding had a preview today in Australia. The guy playing it said the game was so terrifying and had a great chance of being one of the best games this gen. Terrifying. I don't know. I thought it was a peeing simulator, man. I'm just kidding. I'm telling you guys, Kojima's trolling us. He is trolling us hard. Death Stranding's going to be 10s. All right. Oh, Eternal should die. What is dude? Thank you for the $10 super chat, sir. Says, well, out of the 3 Musketeers, Phil, Reggie, and Sean were shown together at the VGAs last year. 2 of them left. Phil has 31 years of experience at Microsoft. I will see him leave after the release of Scarlet. Woo! I don't know if Phil's gonna leave, man. I mean, I think I don't know. I mean, he's got a seat at the table now. You know, he's breaking bread with the Godfather, with Satya. Phil, what is going on, Phil? What is going on, Phil? Why is Sony kicking their asses, Phil? The terrible Godfather impersonation. Shot says, yes, he said the game had very strong horror vibes. Reminded him of Silent Hill meets Breath of the Wild. He said after the game he hadn't been as scared since he saw a movie called Hereditary. I don't know what that movie is. You know, it's funny, Sean, that you bring it up, because I remember having a conversation with some of the Brap guys, and we thought, like, what if this is incorporates some Silent Hill vibes? You know? And we thought that because of, like, some of the creepy shit that they were showing. You know, the floating bodies, stuff like that. Boomstick, no, hey, Boom, no, dude, no need to apologize, man. Dinner with Mrs. Boomstick comes first, always. So, but you know, I don't know, man, if he's gonna leave after Scarlet. I mean, I mean, who knows? I mean, you know, it's funny. Like, a lot of people were like, oh, you know, Sean Layden left and Sony's in trouble and they're restructuring. You know, I mean, Microsoft's going through restructuring. Companies go through restructuring all the time. It's not new. You know, I think it's too early to say that Sony's going to be in trouble because of the restructuring they're going through. You know, they were going through, look, guys, they went through a massive restructuring even prior to Layden being laid off. If you guys remember, when they're consolidating divisions, closing divisions down. I mean, they've been through this before. I just think it's too early to say that they're going to be in trouble because we don't know. We don't know. But, you know, Xbox has gone through restructuring. I mean, I remember when Ed Freeze was there. If you guys remember Ed Freeze. Yeah, Sony Interactive Entertainment Europe is getting taken over by Sony Interactive Entertainment America. And that doesn't surprise me, by the way. Considering how I think big the market is for, you know, they built that new headquarters in I think in California, I think it is Sony Interactive Entertainment headquarters. So I'm not surprised by this. It's a consolidation. Hopefully this streamlines things, but who knows? Who knows how it works out? We won't know you know until the restructuring is complete and some time passes. But changes aren't anything new. I mean, we've seen this with Xbox. If you guys remember, Jay Allard, Ed Freeze, Robbie Bach. It's not new. I mean, this stuff happens all the time. And Ed Freeze actually left because he just when Microsoft figured out that Xbox was a success, he left because they didn't want to give him or the group time to work on games. They wanted like his famous story with Halo 2 is he basically threatened to leave if they didn't give Microsoft wanted Halo 2 to release sooner, which would have meant the game wouldn't have release finished. And Ed Freeze was like, "No, I'm not doing that. And if you guys don't give Bungie more time than what they need, I'm out of here." And that's what happened. And eventually, he just had enough and was like, "I'm gone." And Ed Freeze, mind you, was somebody who was at Microsoft for a very long time. He was actually the guy who was behind Microsoft Excel, and then eventually found his way into the Xbox division. But another guy had been there for a long time. So Robbie Bach's another one. So these guys come and go. I mean, it's not new to the industry. It's or new to any industry. I mean, you're going to see that anywhere you look. But Sean says we're barely 3 weeks away from an all new IP that's exclusive. On top of that, it's from the man who hasn't made a new IP in 3 decades. That's true, man. It's going to be interesting to see how this game plays out. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. Clearly Ybarra is excited about where he's going to land. I wonder, if he landed at Stadia, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. And speaking of Stadia, guys, what do you guys think about this negative input lag thing that Google announced? I don't know if it's negative input lag. I forget what it's called. Negative latency. That's what it's called. All right. So if you guys don't know what negative latency is, I've never heard of negative latency. The idea hurts my brain when I think, well, what the hell is negative latency? Basically, it's a concept by which Stadia can set up a game with a buffer of predicted latency between the server and player, and then use various methods to undercut latency. It sounds like some science fiction shit. So basically, Maj Bakar, the VP of Engineering, says, ultimately, we think in a year or two we'll have games that are running faster and feel more responsive in the cloud than they do locally, regardless of how powerful the local machine is. These improvements will come via a term which sounds rather slippery. Negative latency. It's a concept which Stadia can set up a game with a buffer predicted latency between the server and player and then use various methods to undercut it. It can run the game at a super fast frame rate so it can act on player inputs earlier, or it can predict a player's button presses. Now, PC GPUs do this, where you can actually increase, I think, the time that it takes for a frame to render or something. I forget what it's called. It's a setting I actually just changed on my GPU on my PC. But there is that. It shortens the time that the frame is rendered, so it's more responsive, and you get higher frames per second, less input lag. So anyhow, it says frame rate so it can act on a player's input earlier, or it can predict. Now here's the kicker here. Some guy says it's nothing new; it's been around. Now I don't. I've never heard the term negative latency. Some guy that's new to me. I do know that with that like I just said on my PC, you can actually um, shorten the render time of a specific frame or frames or whatever. You can actually cut that time down so that you get higher frames and better input or less latency. Um, so here's the part that really had me kind of scratching my head. It can predict a player's button presses. These tricks can help the game feel more responsive, potentially more so than a console game running locally at 30 frames per second with a wireless controller. Now, how are they? Okay, I get they're probably have data, AI, whatever, some kind of computing where they can figure this stuff out to predict people's tendencies. But what if they get it wrong? And I don't know about you guys, but when I'm playing Street Fighter V, I tend to do a little butt mashing. How are they going to predict my butt mashing? Please, how are they going to do that? I'm like, I don't know. It sounds interesting, but what if? How do they? What if I? What if I'm playing a first-person shooter, and instead of ducking, they have me throwing a grenade when I really wanted to duck? Z Black Rider says people are predictable, easy peasy. Are they? I don't know, Z Black Rider. I mean, we could say that people are easy to predict, but I mean, where's the data that shows that? I mean, I don't know. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we could say that people are predictable. Maybe they are. I suppose if you are in certain scenarios, if let's say you're behind a wall, or it could tell that you need to reload, it's going to reload for you, hit the X button to reload or whatever button that is. I suppose if they feel like you're getting shot at, that you're probably going to fire back. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I mean, look, I'm not saying that this thing is completely out of the realm of a possibility, because look, those guys at Google are fucking smarter than me. I just think that it's I don't know. I got to see how this thing works. Is my point, I guess. They could sit there and tell me, hey, you know what? Hey, Enrique, here's a wheel that will spin gold yarn for you. You got to see it to believe it. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna work. I think it's gonna be interesting. I keep thinking though. I keep going back to what if they get it? What if they get it wrong? What if they get it wrong? I don't know. We'll see. It's interesting though that they're calling negative latency. Yeah, there could be something with combining, higher frame rates with a buffer. But Google, look, I mean, I think if anybody could probably do this, maybe Google can. I mean, they certainly have experience in AI and machine learning, so maybe it's not out of the question that they can do this. They can actually predict, the presses. Z Blackrider says the AI needs to be trained. Could take years to make it work. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, Google. This isn't Google's actually been working with AI and machine learning. I mean, but who knows? I don't know. Who knows? Who knows if this is actually going to work? I just can't stop thinking about what if they hit the wrong button for me. I'm not going to be happy. I think a lot of people won't be happy. But we'll see. Time will tell. I mean, they say that again. They say the next. They say the next year or two that this is something that's going to be available for Stadia. Now, I haven't signed up for Stadia yet, even though I got a new PC. I still haven't signed up for Stadia. I'm not exactly. I don't know. I'm still I'm still on the fence. I'm still on the fence with it. I don't know. If I'm going to if I'm going to get it or not. I just I guess I'm actually at a point where I want to wait and see. Actually, I'm gonna wait and see how Stadia works with the Mooch because and for J Dub for Kratos because those guys are. Z Black Rice says for $7 Stadia will finish this level for you. Can you imagine though? I bet you Z Black Rider. I bet you people would pay. Can you imagine that playing Dark Souls and you get a little prompt from Google that says, "Hey, you know what? For $7, we'll get you past this boss battle." What's going on, Invader Gaming? I'll tell you what. I'll tell you the interesting thing about Google, and I never thought about this. I think this could be the Trojan horse for Google. Now, what if? Now, imagine, guys. Imagine. Okay, we all have. A lot of us have YouTube, and as you know, sometimes YouTube will put out like free content, like free movies. But there's a catch with that. The catch is you get the free movie, but you're going to end up, some guy says day one Stadia. Did you get the Founders Edition? Some guy. Just curious. That's all. The catch with that though is that you have to watch commercials basically. So you're not watching the movie. You're watching the movie as you would like a regular television show where it's interrupted by commercials. All right. Now imagine if Stadia offered something like that, where you could play a game for free, but as you're playing, your gameplay would be interrupted by commercials. I mean, I don't know. I mean that I think. I mean, I would do that. I would try that, and I think other people would try that. I think that if Google did something like that, like they do with YouTube for Stadia, maybe that's the Trojan horse for Stadia. Hey guys, come to our platform. It's free. You can play any game you want for free, but you got to watch commercials. I don't know, guys. That could be the Trojan horse for them. It could be. Airless78 says Google, but I thought you wanted to skip the cutscene. Hashtag negative latency. That's too funny, man. Too funny. So, yeah, I'm on the fence with Stadia though. I want to see how it works for other guys. I mean, I know there was some, we had D-Batch on from the RDX podcast, and he had a great experience with Google Stadia during the beta, and then we had Slow-Mo, who was in the beta, who didn't have as quite a good of experience with Stadia. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, but it's definitely, I'll say this. It's interesting. Like, I see a lot of people talk about, the gaming industry and how, the future's in streaming and, stuff like that. And maybe it is. I mean, maybe it is. I have been a little more bullish on streaming because of technologies like 5G coming out. And maybe that's going to be the future. But I'll say this: what's kind of interesting, and the one thing that I see in this console generation is that there doesn't seem to be one way of doing things in the gaming industry. It looks like the pie has gotten so big now that there's way for content creators, developers, hardware manufacturers to deliver gaming experiences to consumers in a variety of different ways. Growing up, and I've been gaming for 37 years, there was one way to do it, and that was hardware, software in front of a TV. And now we're seeing things like Stadia, we're seeing xCloud, we're seeing PlayStation Now, we're seeing subscription services like Game Pass. And, I see people arguing over which one's better. And you know what? Or I see people say, "Oh, well, because Microsoft's doing this. This is the future." I think it's hard to say. We don't know how any of this. One, we don't know how any of this stuff's going to pan out. Maybe perhaps this is the future, or maybe this is just, or maybe this is just another option on how we can experience gaming. Maybe it's on top of what we would consider traditional console gaming. Because even with streaming, you need hardware, right? I mean, you have to have that. People talk about Microsoft and XCloud and Game Pass. Microsoft is going to need hardware if they want to grow their Game Pass business. They're going to have to sell more Xboxes to gate more people into that ecosystem. Abacup72 says, "Who's Felicia?" Felicia's from the movie Friday. That's saying, "Bye, Felicia." D Black Rider says, "I'll have to tune my router for streaming." So it's interesting. I mean, I think we're definitely at an interesting time in gaming, and definitely an exciting time going to the next console generation. But I do say this: I think that it's still always going to come down to two things now. I think the most important thing for any streaming service or hardware, console hardware, is content. Content, content, content. And I think exclusive content. Yes, that one, Abaca. It's going to come down to content. Who's got the best exclusive content? And I think that's going to be very important. You could have the best streaming service, but if you don't have great exclusive content, then what's you're going to attract a smaller piece of the pie, I think. But I think that it's going to be very hard for you to differentiate yourself from the competition. I think I would say Netflix is great, but no one subscribes to Netflix to watch reruns of Jerry Seinfeld or to watch Captain America: Winter Soldier. No, I mean, we're subscribing to Netflix because we want to see, we see shows like, oh shit, I'm drawing a blank now. I'm getting old, guys. You subscribe to Netflix because you want to see shows like Stranger Things. You want to see, well, up until, Disney pulled the plug on Marvel, you want to see Daredevil on Netflix. Dark Crystal, thank you. Some guy says the good thing about Stadia is that if you want to just try one game, you don't have to invest in hardware to play that game. Yeah, that's the interesting thing. I mean, that's probably maybe the selling point for Stadia, that you remove that barrier of entry now, where you can just buy a game if you want. Abaca says Dave Chappelle's Sticks and Stones. Yes, people subscribe to Netflix to watch Dave Chappelle. And it's funny. Like I've been hearing people, and I've been listening to people talk about, a clean slate next console generation, and it's a conversation I've had on a few occasions with my good pal Lord Cognito of the Iron Lords. Big shout out to the ILP. And he's like, hey, anything can happen. This is a clean slate. You and I have been gaming Brap for a long time. We've seen the flip-flopping of market leaders in the console space. And even Jim Ryan of Sony acknowledged that, historically speaking, the incumbent hasn't always been the market leader of the next generation. But I think this generation is different, and this is why. I think this was the generation where you really needed to tie people in console gaming for the first time. Tie people into your ecosystem. Which is why I think Sony announcing backwards compatibility was big for them, because they needed to. They had to. They wanted to lock those people in, to really lock those people in who bought the PlayStation 4. They're going to have to offer something, that backwards compatibility, so that those people buying PlayStation 5s what the heck happened here? What the heck happened here? Can you guys hear me okay? I think I may have lost. All right, yeah. You know what, guys? I don't know what happened. I accidentally um I minimized the stream window for Hangouts or for Google. So I don't know if I'm assuming with the OBS stream, because I have OBS going on in the background. I hit the escape button by accident. Let's see something here. Anyhow, guys, as long as we're still live. Okay, yeah. All right. As long as we're still live, that's fine then. And I guess it's still streaming through OBS. All right. So Abacus says you can. Okay, so you guys can hear me fine then. All right. Yeah, I hit the escape button and I had the window up for the dashboard, the studio dashboard for Hangouts, or not for Hangouts, for YouTube Studio. So it's really weird. I'm glad we're still broadcasting. I was like, holy shit. I was like, I hope that I didn't cut the broadcast out. But anyhow, I think this generation was very important to lock people in that ecosystem. I think it's going to be harder to get those people to convert, whether you're converting from Xbox to PlayStation or PlayStation to Xbox. I think it's going to be very difficult because of that ecosystem now. So, but I tell you what though, with the announcement of the consoles coming out holiday 2020, it's gonna be awesome next year. I mean I am looking forward to it. I'm gonna be 43 when these consoles release, and so I've been doing this a long time. It's just awesome, and I can't wait. I can't wait to be out there and pick up my next gen console. So I do want to talk about one more topic, guys, before we wrap up this rant this evening. I don't know if you guys saw this or not. So the Coalition, the great studio behind Gears 5, they put out a tweet today. They're addressing, they're basically addressing, let me know what you guys think about this in the live chat. If you think this is okay, or if you think this is egregious. The Coalition, they put out a tweet today saying, quitters have been receiving month to year-long suspensions for prior behavior. This is how long you can be suspended for being a rampant quitter. Take heed. Over the next few hours, impacted users will be unsuspended, but one quit away from suspension. You have been warned. Now, what do you guys think about this in the live chat? What do you guys think about receiving 1 month to a year-long suspension? Now, it's not just a month or a year long. It's 1 month and everything in between. I think somebody commented that they had been banned for 6 months. What do you guys think about this? Is this good? Is a Coalition, or is this egregious? Is this Well, basically, Z Black Rider, I think they're quitting because they're rage quitting. That's what I'm thinking is happening. People, don't want to affect maybe their stats or something, and they're just pulling the plug. You know, uh, Toy Kid 66 says, I've decided I'm refusing to watch Enrique until he does a video without mentioning his goddamn PC. I'm done. I think I've only mentioned my PC once today, sir. So, I mean, look, I get that the coalition needs to address people that are rage quitting. I get that. I mean, that's bullshit. I mean, that's nothing new. That's been a problem on console gaming since Xbox Live. I remember people used to do it when we used to run ladder matches. I was part of an Xbox Live clan, and we used to play ladder matches against other clans, and they used to quit. They quit. They would unplug their router, do shit like that. So, look, I think it's a good idea that they ban people. A year ban sounds egregious, though. Like, I mean, look, some guy. I agree. If someone is constantly quitting, then I'm fine with them getting banned. But I don't know if I'm fine with them being banned for a year. See, Black Rider said they should tag all the quitters and make them play together. Can you imagine that, man? No, that would be some funny shit. They should do that. Just put them all together in one big server. Have a big quit fest. I'm just curious. And look, guys, I haven't done any more research on this. I'm just commenting on the tweet that I read today. A year sounds like a long time. And then my other thing is, how do they know? I mean, do they know, like, if people are quitting, or like what happens? For example, what happens if I have to drop a deuce and I quit? Am I gonna get a warning? What's up, Big Cloud? Like, what is, like, if I have to drop a deuce? What if I just so happen to play Gears at nighttime every time I have dinner? And, you have a nice dinner, you gotta go drop a deuce. What if I drop a deuce and it keeps happening? Am I gonna get banned because I'm leaving the game because I gotta drop a deuce? I'm being silly, guys, but I'm just saying. Sometimes the wifey calls. She comes downstairs. She's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And she looks at me, and I know what time it is. It's time for me to put the controller down and get out the honey, if you know what I mean. See, Black Rider says they'll have to use Google AI to predict what they're doing. I've never heard, guys, and correct me if I'm wrong, I've never heard any developer banning anyone for up to a year. That's pretty aggressive. But the bans are going out. And they're saying, you've been warned. But, I mean, I guess I just wonder, how bad is it then online for them to make that statement? Look, I'm not on Gears 5 playing multiplayer. That ship sailed for me a long time ago. I'm just wondering, like, how do they know that people are, like, really quitting because they're quitting, rage quitting, versus, like, hey, you know what? I've quit 3 or 4 times because, I had to go. I had things I needed to take care of. I had to drop a deuce. That shit happens. Or I have shitty internet. I'm just wondering, because I don't know. I truly don't know. I'm just wondering. I think it's interesting. But I look, again, I think I'm not saying they shouldn't ban people. I just think that it's a little aggressive, a year ban or a month. Damn, how do you get a... Yeah, it does affect ranking. That's why people do it. It affects ranking. I know, like, when people used to do it, like, I knew guys that would, like... There was this guy, and this guy's gamer tag. I'm just going to throw it out there because I don't think he's on Xbox Live anymore. There's a guy named Logix that I used to play with on Xbox Live, and we used to play Rainbow Six. And he had, like, his KDR was, like, I don't know, like 2.1 or something, right? But I'm telling you, if he was getting owned, he would quit. He would quit because he didn't want it to affect his KDR, his stats. So some guy says I think it's based on your percentage of quitting. I mean, I guess that would make sense. But holy shit, I mean, if you're quitting and you get a year ban, you're probably quitting so much you're probably not even playing anyway. Yeah, I'm just, it's interesting. This is the most aggressive tweet I've seen from a developer addressing uh, quitting. It's really, I mean, look, they have, look, it's their game. They have every right to do, with this game how they see fit. Um, I guess my question is, I wonder how bad the people quitting has gotten. You know, um, some people that some people in the tweet, the Twitter thread, to Coalition tweet. One guy said he's like, I have people quitting as many as 18 of the last 22 matches. Or he's saying they have people quitting as many as 18 of the last 22 matches they played. According to one developer, rampant quitters in rank should be giving severe punishments. One person said, "Hey, I feel bad for people with young children. Baby starts randomly waking up and crying several times a night when the parent's playing." Parents' response: "Sorry, but you're going to have to wait till I finish the match. I don't want to get banned for a year." I don't think that's going to happen. I think like some guy said, it's probably based on the percentage of how much you quit. But still, I mean, it's shit happens, literally. So it's gonna be interesting how this thing pans out. Be interesting how Coalition addresses this later on down the road, or how this, what we hear from gamers who have been impacted by this ban. I'm sure we'll probably have some people saying, "Oh, I only quit once and I got a 3-month ban." Who knows? We'll see. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this Brap rant. I was going to actually go over the new Xbox One update, but I don't have time to do that, unfortunately. There was a new Xbox One update. They actually improved some things based on feedback from Xbox One owners. I know that they streamlined Mixer now. Um, they actually, one thing was actually kind of cool, I thought. They get with regards to parental controls. They actually instituted time limits in terms of how long your kids can play a game. So if you tell your kids, "Hey, you can only play Halo for an hour," they're only going to get an hour of Halo. That's actually pretty cool. I wish that some of the other consoles would have that. Actually, would help me with my kids who like the game now. So, but all right, guys. Hey, you know what? I want to say a big thank you to everyone in the live chat. Thanks, guys, for what's up, Gaming Forte. I want to give a big shout out. Hey, let me tell you something. Follow my friend Gaming Forte. Great dude, super positive. Um, he put out a really nice tweet today talking about positivity. So thank you, sir. Tell us what's going on, man. Appreciate you coming in. Guys, no, but seriously, I want to give a big shout out to everyone in the live chat. I really appreciate you guys, hanging out with me and, listening to me, banter on about all things video games and professional wrestling today. I really appreciate it, guys. I really do. And, I've been doing this for, like 4 years now. And, look, we're not the biggest channel, but I appreciate everyone that has subscribed and supported Brap. I don't know if I get to tell you that, guys, enough, but I do. And, just really appreciate you guys coming in here and hanging out with me. So hit that like button. I would appreciate it. If you haven't done so, subscribe. Hit that bell notification button so that you get notified when we go live. So on that note, guys, I am out. Everyone have a great rest of the evening and enjoy your weekend. We'll be back. Actually, I think we're going to be live on Tuesday night this Tuesday coming up because I have another scheduling conflict on Wednesday. I think next Tuesday, Brap will be back at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, on that note, guys, I am out. Have a great weekend. Enjoy gaming. And we'll see you next time. Peace.